recording. We are recording. Coffee drank. Christmas decorations up. Let's start our show. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Marauder Morning. So happy to have you all here watching. I am here with my two favorite guys, here to talk a little bit of sports. It's Mark and it's Ryan here on this Monday afternoon. How you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Right
Feeling
on.
good.
Today's episode is another experimentation in the format. We're doing something a little bit different for the third week in a row. Today is our 2020 award show. Last year I did this for Marauder athletes, but nobody competing this year on the McMaster side. Nice, Ryan's got a prop trophy. That's good. Last year I did this for Marauder athletes. This year we're just doing it for the mainstream sports because no Marauder sports going on, obviously. So let's just dive right into it. We're going to pick from 10 categories or as many as we can get to in our hour time frame. And let's get cooking. We're going to start at the top. We're not doing the Oscars thing where they save all the good awards for the end. We're getting the good ones off right at the top here. We're starting off with our team of the year, the team that did it best in the calendar year of 2020. Let's read off our nominees as voted on by our expert panel of analysts here at Marauder Morning. The nominees for Team of the Year are the Tampa Bay Lightning, winners of the 2019 Stanley Cup, the Miami Heat, runners-up in the NBA, and the Kansas City Chiefs, winners of Super Bowl 54. Should we announce the winner? Mark, announce the winner for us. Who wins Team of the Year?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs are the
Clap it up.
2020 Marauder Morning Team of the Year. Let's talk about it. The Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl 54 winners, headlined by the man, Patrick Mahomes. Gets it done up there. Legend, superstar, coached by the legend, Andy Reid. They got offensive weapons all over the place, a defense that's good enough. To me, this is absolutely the Team of the Year in football, at least, and they would be my Team of the Year for any sport. Just because I think they're looking at a path to a second straight Super Bowl right now, which would give them 2 wins in 2 years, and I think that's pretty undisputable. Guys, do you have any thoughts on our Team of the Year, the Kansas City Chiefs?
Travis Kelce.
Travis
Love that
Kelce. Yep. New member of the Madden 99 club. Congratulations to Travis Kelce. Yep. Getting the 99 overall rating. Ryan,
That guy.
any thoughts?
Yeah, I think not only winning the Super Bowl, but what they've done this year, they look like extremely dominant. I think they're on like a 6-game win streak currently.
Yeah, they're as we're sitting here recording, they are 12-1, 11-1 on the season.
Sheesh.
And I don't see them losing too many more games
Yeah,
between
and
here and February.
based on my little football knowledge, I know that the Patriots have been the dominant team for the last couple of years,
sure.
and it kind of seems like the Chiefs have taken over that role.
Yeah, absolutely. I
but
think
yeah,
they've got a
good for them.
great shot at being that next dynasty-type team in football, winning 3 or more Super Bowls. I think they, for sure, have the best shot in the league right now, and I'd put my money on it. All right, so let's clap it up for our Team of the Year, the Kansas City Chiefs. Congratulations to those guys. We'll be sending you your trophy in the mail. Please don't send it back. Our next award, Athlete of the Year. We're keeping it cooking with the good ones. Our Athlete of the Year nominees for 2020 are LeBron James, of course, Ryan Krauser, stick around to learn who that is, Patrick Mahomes, and Kibiwott Kandie. I hope I got his name right. We'll stick around and talk about that guy too. Who is our winner? Ryan, Athlete of the Year, give it to us.
Kibiwott Kandie.
Kibiwott Kandie.
Go.
Now, question number 1 for Mark, who nominated Kibiwott. Who is Kibiwott Kandie? For the people who don't know.
He is a runner from Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
and he set the world record for the half marathon this past December. He ran the half marathon, which is 21.1 kilometers in 57 minutes and 32 seconds.
Wow.
So that's at like a 2 minute and 44 kilometer pace. And
Holy
so like I started running over quarantine, and like
Okay.
just like running and kind of getting the feel for how fast they are actually running when they're running these times. It's actually wild. Like they're like sprinting
Yeah.
like 21 kilometers. So super impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think we all picked this because it's obviously an impressive record that leaps off the page of you. Also, we just gave Patrick Mahomes a bunch of credit. Board.
Yeah.
LeBron James won Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year. Whatever. LeBron. And then Ryan Krauser is another guy I nominated. I think me and Mark might have looked at the same list when we Googled nominees. Ryan Krauser is a shot put athlete who went undefeated in shot put competition this year and set the third place record for the world in shot put. So I just thought throw that guy in, and Kibiwott Kandie, our winner, give a little track and field love. No doubt that those guys are
Runners
athletes.
are people too.
Absolutely. The runners are people too, and shot put guys.
It's so easy to pick the top guy of a sport, but like
Absolutely.
Andy, we'd never heard of him before. But definitely running a half marathon in under an hour. I know I definitely couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't think LeBron James or Patrick Mahomes are doing that anytime soon. So
No,
No.
it's it's a simple act. Like it's straightforward, but good luck getting there. If you're anyone other than a freaky athlete. Kibiwott Kandie, I'm sure, is that running sub-hour marathon. That's redonkulous. Any of these other nominees we want to talk about? I mean, LeBron is LeBron. It's LeBron. Anyone else?
Like I know LeBron gets a lot of hate because he's got a lot of
For sure.
fans that overhype him and stuff. But I think what he's doing at 35 is, I think he's justified to get Athlete of the Year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just because
And
he's still LeBron. So
yeah. And
he's not going anywhere.
Thank you for making that distinction, Ryan. I'm obviously being very flippant with one of the greatest athletes of all time. LeBron James deserves it. Absolutely. The Time Magazine award. Absolutely, he deserves to get it. Patrick Mahomes, same thing. But hey, we throw a little love to the people who deserve it here on Marauder Morning. And Kibiwott Kandie, let's clap it up. Our Athlete of the Year 2020. I'm not sure we can mail a trophy to Kenya, but we're sending you our love, Kibiwott. There we go. Award number 3. Man, we are moving quickly here. I'll have a little more discussion on this one. This is our Coach of the Year award, and some contentious nominations in this one. Our nominees are Billy Donovan of the Oklahoma City Thunder, Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jared Bednar of the Colorado Avalanche. Is that right? Yes, sir.
Yep.
And Eric Spoelstra of the Miami Heat. Mark, who is our winner of Coach of the Year?
From the NBA, from South Beach, Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra, Big Spo. Let's clap it up for Big Spo.
Filipino pride. Let's go.
He's crying in South Beach right now. He's so honored. Our Marauder Morning 2020 Coach of the Year is Eric Spoelstra. Mark, why don't you just keep talking? Why is Spo the man?
Man, his journey itself is just amazing. Just seeing that, never played in the NBA, was a video guy for the team.
Yeah.
And just seeing how he used his players, and like Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson were like crucial players for that team, and they went to the finals. So just create a really good system, and hopefully they can win soon.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I'd really love to see this team win. Ryan, what do you got on Spo?
I think he's really the leader of the culture that Miami has created, like the team first, like nobody puts himself above the team.
Mm-hmm.
I know as hard as it was when LeBron was there.
For sure.
I know that he was sharing the minutes with Bosch and Wade, and they wouldn't have won a championship if they didn't buy into the system.
Right.
And Spo was there when that happened. Stayed with it. He's there now, and I think they have a really good team. Like I think if they didn't ended up going against the Lakers, I think they would have won. But even that they have to go through the Lakers, I think eventually they'll crack through. So
Yeah, it might be a couple years, but they're ready to go for the next couple years. Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler's not crazy old. He's 30 plus, but he's got mileage for sure. And they've kind of trimmed down the roster. Udonis Haslem is he's gone now, right? And Goran Dragic is on a 1 year deal, so they're ready to go for the future. And Ryan, you mentioned it. Spo was there when the Heatles were around. LeBron, Wade, and Bosch. And
Yep.
he got no credit for that. And whatever you want to say, he was the coach of that team, and someone had to coach the Heatles, and someone had to get the other 9 guys on the roster to play. And I think we're seeing the benefits of that in 2020, 2021. This Eric Spoelstra culture has become well known throughout the league. And guys go there and they succeed. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler alone, you could say, is an example of him being coach of the year. He went to 3 other teams and everyone hated him and couldn't get him to work. And it was clear that Jimmy Butler was a great player. He was just not working, but they got him down to Miami, and it's like a glove there with Jimmy Butler. And it's one of the only reasons they're in the Giannis conversation. Obviously, you're down in Miami, which makes attracting free agents a little easier. But I think that culture is a big reason if Giannis decides to leave, that he might pick the Heat. Yeah. Any more thoughts on Eric Spoelstra?
Great guy.
Great guy.
Great winner.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of Spo, and I wish him all the best. Let's get into our other nominees here. Let's go down the list. Ryan, why don't you tell us, as our resident hockey expert, Jared Bednar, what did he do for the Colorado Avalanche this year?
So he joined the team a couple years ago. I don't remember if he joined when they were last in the league and had like the worst record ever, or if he's been there after that. But ever since he came in, they've just looked like a powerhouse team. He's good at connecting with his players. He had to juggle the lineup a lot this year. They battled a lot of injuries. Landeskog, Rantanen, Cale McCarr. He was injured there for a bit, and even though he had to juggle the lineup, they still ended up with 42 wins, 20 losses, and 8 overtime wins. So they still had a really good record, and they made it really deep in the NHL playoffs, and I don't think they would have been there without him. So That's why he was my nominee.
Right on. Yeah, well deserved. I think Spoelstra gets the nod here just because he's made it all the way to the finals this year. But definitely. Colorado Avalanche, a lot to look forward to in the years to come. Let's talk about our next nominee, Mike Tomlin. Pittsburgh Steelers, save for last week's game against the Washington football team, have looked awesome. They were 11-0 coming into last week, undefeated. Tells you everything you need to know. Great defense. Mike Tomlin sets the attitude with that team. I think it started last year when Ben Roethlisberger, the superstar quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, missed the entire season, and they had no hope of winning anything. And Mike Tomlin, brought him back and set the attitude. They won a decent amount of games, and this year they can come back and they have that dog mentality, and they're ready to go win with Ben Roethlisberger back. Now,
Big Ben.
Yeah, Big Ben. The reason I couldn't vote for Mike Tomlin is what I saw most recently last weekend, losing to the Washington football team. You can't vote for this Mike Tomlin after that. But lots to look forward to. The Steelers, I think they're going to go deep in this AFC playoffs, despite this most recent loss. And a loss might do him some good, taking the pressure off. But Mike Tomlin, I would have been happy to give this award to before he lost to the Washington football team. And then finally, our dark horse nominee, Billy Donovan of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Maybe not getting enough love from people, including myself. I was skeptical of this nomination. Ryan, you're on the soapbox for this one. Billy Donovan was your nomination. What did you have on Billy Donovan out there in OKC?
Yeah, going into this year, I don't think OKC was planning on being a playoff team. I think
Mhm.
they're sort of set on rebuilding for the future with the 17 first round picks over the next couple of years. And I mean, they literally had to trade away Chris Paul because he did too good
Mhm.
at taking them to the
Yeah.
playoffs. And I think him and Billy Donovan really coached up their players, and I mean, they made it to the playoffs when their GM literally counted them out and said, "Look, like we're not a playoff team. We're not expecting to get there." And I think Billy
Mhm.
Donovan was a big part of that. So
Yeah, no, it's I call it the dark horse pick because we picked Spo because he was in the finals. Jared Bednar had a good playoff run. Mike Tomlin is looking like they're gonna go deep in the playoffs. Billy Donovan, had a different kind of success. They were projected to be crap, and then they ended up being pretty good, which is a giant leap. And like you said, with kind of nothing, 30-something-year-old Chris Paul, super young Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Steven Adams, some kind of mishmash pieces, and they made it work. So I'd like to apologize to you, Ryan, for my skepticism on your nomination.
it's all good.
I was wrong. Billy Donovan, I can get behind it as a nominee. Maybe not the winner, but he deserves a spot on the nominee list. Mark, what do you think of Billy Donovan?
No, I like it. I agree with Ryan. I think just the pieces that OKC had, like I think a lot of analysts counted them out before the season started last year.
For sure.
But they made it work. And like Chris Paul was, I think Billy Donovan let Chris Paul kind of take the role as like an on-court coach, and that like helped a lot with those young guys he was playing with. So,
Yeah,
but is he still the coach, or did he get fired?
I think he got whacked.
Oh,
Yeah.
So he's not there anymore, but he did a good job. Ryan, did you
got
not know
hired.
he got fired?
He got hired somewhere else though, didn't he?
Look it up. I don't know where he got hired, but yeah, he got fired from Oklahoma City.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah, like maybe that makes it look like we have egg on our faces, but I think Billy Donovan is gonna go somewhere where they want to win, and I don't think Oklahoma City wants to win right now. You've seen the moves they've made in the last couple weeks. Taking Al Horford's salary dump, and they're just taking on salaries, and they're gonna move on to the future. And I think maybe Billy Donovan didn't want to be a part of that, and that's maybe why he's out of there now. So I don't think he was fired under his own accord. Certainly not for the job he did last year. But yeah, Billy Donovan is a nominee for much like Dwayne Casey a couple years ago, won Coach of the Year in the NBA after being fired. So we're not the first to do it. You can be fired and still be nominated for the award.
Chicago, by the way, that's where he went.
Chicago. Oh, I like that. Hey.
Hopefully, Chicago can have the same success that the Bulls or the Thunder did.
I like that.
Zach LaVine.
Yeah, you look what he did with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Zach LaVine could be that similar mold kind of guy. Hey, Kobe White. I don't know what he's gonna be, but he's there. Yeah, Billy Donovan. He could be nominated next year for his job with the Chicago Bulls.
Exactly.
There we go. Any more thoughts on our Coach of the Year award? Or are we ready to move on?
I think we did good.
Let's move on to our next award then. We've talked about Athlete of the Year, Team of the Year, Coach of the Year, all these great established guys. Let's talk about who's up next with our Rookie of the Year award. We didn't clap it up for Eric Spoelstra. Let's clap it up for Spo. Come on, Mark. There you go. Clap up for Spo. All right, on to our Rookie of the Year award. And the nominees are Cale Makar, Ja Morant, Justin Herbert, and Mason Greenwood. Ryan, the winner is
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant is our Rookie of the Year. Shock and awe throughout the audience. Some claps, some boos. But let's talk about our winner, Ja Morant, Rookie of the Year for Marauder Morning for our money. Who wants to talk about him? Either of you guys? I'll talk about it. All right, Ryan, go for it.
Ja Morant is the only reason why the Memphis Grizzlies are relevant right now. I think he's a really good sort of Russell Westbrook that can shoot. I think him being so young and being able to take over the team the way he has, I think he's amazing. I think he's an all-star already. I think Rookie of the Year was definitely justified over Zion, and I hope that the Memphis Grizzlies can put a team around him to keep him, because if they don't, then they're losing a major piece in the NBA. So.
True enough. Mark, you kind of balked at All-Star already. Was that true? What do you think of Ja Morant?
No, I love him. I mean, his leadership is like amazing for his age. To be like point guard in the NBA, leading a bunch of, I mean, like he's one of the younger players on his team. And just to gain that trust from a coach is that speaks volumes for him as a player. But yeah, I don't know. I guess he could have been an All-Star actually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had a solid season, but I think definitely this coming season, I think that's like the next step he's going to take. He's probably going to be an All-Star.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. This coming up season, I think the expectation starts now to start making all-star games, start making all NBA teams, especially at the point guard position, which is a little thin traditionally across the league. I think Ja Morant should be a shoo-in for one of these all-NBA teams with how talented he is. You guys hit on it. He's such a great leader. You know, he spent a couple of years down there at Murray State. It was Murray State, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He spent a couple of years down there at Murray State. And, you know, I think that comes from, you know, you got your guys, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, who go to, you know, Kentucky, Zion and RJ Barrett at Duke. And I think when you go to some of those super teams, you end up not having to be a leader because you've got 7 guys who are all superstars. And so you all just go out and play basketball. But when you're the superstar guy on Murray State, a team which I'm going to assume had no other NBA players on it, you know, Ja Morant probably had to step up significantly. And, you know, I think we saw that, especially in the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago. And I think it's paying off now in the league. I think he's coming in a more mature leader than some of these other rookie guys. The one that comes to mind is RJ Barrett up there in the Knicks. Haven't heard anything on the leadership skills of RJ Barrett, but I really wouldn't want to lead that Knicks team either. Any more thoughts on Ja Morant? I know we all love him. I love that he plays in those old Vancouver Grizzlies uniforms sometimes. That makes me love him a little bit more. Any more thoughts? Any more gushing you want to do about Ja Morant?
He's got to get his own shoe. I'm buying that right away if he gets his own shoe.
Yeah, he's a signature shoe kind of guy, for sure. I don't know. Quick change of subject. LeBron did an interview a couple days ago on Road Trippin', which is the uninterrupted podcast, which I guess LeBron owns by proxy. And he talked about Kyrie as a signature shoe guy back in the day and why he pushed so hard for him to get a signature shoe, because of his spectacular handles. You know, he's a little shorter, so people can relate to him a little better than some of these 7-foot guys. I think Ja Morant fits right into that mold of a signature shoe guy that kids especially will love for years to come. Ryan said it, you know, Russell Westbrook type athlete, but great shooter for the modern NBA. So love it. Yeah, Ja Morant, Rookie of the Year. Are you guys ready to go for it, Ryan?
Just looking at the roster, nobody else on the team is in the NBA that I know of.
The Murray State team?
Yeah, the Murray State team.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Become relevant with no other All-Stars around you is definitely huge.
For sure. Yeah. And, you know, you can look back. You think of, like, Dwayne Wade went to Loyola? Marquette. Yeah, Marquette. And Damian Lillard went to
Weber
State. Nice, Mark. Good calls. Yeah, those guys both came out of college as ready to go mature leaders. So I think there might be something to it. That small school kind of forces you to become a more mature player. And I think Ja Morant is that. All right, let's get to some of our other nominees for Rookie of the Year. Let's start with Mason Greenwood. Mark, you're on fire with your nominations. I love it. Going into the weeds. Mason Greenwood, tell us about him. Who is he?
Yeah, wanted to add some diversity to the players we were going to talk about.
Absolutely.
He's a soccer player from Manchester United. He's 18 years old.
18.
And
wow.
He was on the first team for Manchester United last year, and he scored 17 goals throughout the season, which is a lot for such a young player, or even just a striker in general. Those are like similar to numbers of like great players like like Wayne Rooney. Like
Wow.
those are kind of the
Big
numbers
name.
that he was putting up. So yeah,
Especially in
exactly.
that
So
Manchester United club. That's a big name to throw
yeah,
around.
yeah.
Wayne Rooney. All right, I'm gonna bring up a guy. He's the only other young soccer player I know. Compare him for me to Kylian Mbappe.
Oh, okay.
As a young scorer. Sorry,
Yeah,
he's the only soccer player.
Mbappe is on another level for sure.
Yeah, he's not on that level.
No, I mean Mbappe like led France to a World Cup. Like
Right.
that's different.
Yeah.
But Greenwood's solid for
You
his
think
age
he's
for
gonna
sure.
be a good player?
Greenwood?
Yeah.
Well, he's having a pretty rough season this year, but
Okay.
yeah, he'll be good.
All
He's
right.
19 right now, so
Yeah, a lot of room to go. Yeah,
Yeah, Mbappe has a couple years on him, so
I just mentioned Mbappe because he's the guy I remember from a couple years ago, 2017 or something like that, when he was the 18-year-old, coming out of coming out of Monaco up into Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah, and he's the only soccer player I'm aware of, so I thought I'd just bring him up. Any thoughts on Mason Greenwood, Ryan? I should ask you.
I have no idea who he is. So I congratulate him. Good job.
We'll take Mark's word for that one, and let's go over to Ryan for Cale Makar. Tell us about Cale Makar.
A big part of the Colorado Avalanche and their success this year. I love him. I raved about him all year. I knew he was going to be this big. Everyone was just waiting to see. So he's almost a point per game this season as a defenseman.
Wow.
And that's unheard of. He got 50 points in 57 games. And he was injured for a little bit this year. So to come back and still be at the same level that he was pretty crazy. They had a right defenseman for a long time, and he was their cornerstone for the future in Tyson Barrie.
Okay.
And so last year he came in the playoffs, Cale Makar came in last year in the playoffs and just took over.
Wow.
And like stole the minutes from Tyson Barrie. And then over the offseason, they knew it was clear that they needed to get rid of Tyson Barrie because Cale Makar was the new man in town. He's just been crazy. Over the last playoffs this year, he got 15 points in 15 games. And he logs so many minutes as a young player. So I love him. And he's Canadian. So
there you go. That's all you need to know.
Exactly.
How old is he?
He's only 22.
Wow.
So.
That's my age.
There you go. Where you at, Mark? Come on.
What am I doing?
Skate him up. Lace him up. Let's go. Ryan, I got to ask you something, man.
Okay.
Your two nominees so far, Cale Makar and the coach, Jared Bednar.
Yep.
I've noticed a theme we've got going on with your nominations, and I'd like for you to point out the poster in the background there. People may not realize what's going on here. We've got two Colorado Avalanche picks. Ryan, is it possible? Both are great picks. I don't want to accuse you of any mishaps.
No worries, yeah.
Is it possible that we've got a little Colorado Avalanche bias leaking into this unbiased, undifferential third-party show?
Maybe a little.
Maybe? Okay.
Possibly. But
we've got to be transparent with the audience.
Of course.
Let people know what's going on.
Yep.
We're trying to make honest, good picks here. I'm not accusing Ryan of anything, but just pointing it out for everyone to make their own conclusions. Ryan has so far nominated two Colorado Avalanche folks. All right.
Do your part, man. I've left Boston out this whole episode.
Yeah, come on.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
We haven't seen one Celtic yet. I'm surprised Jason Tatum wasn't nominated for Athlete of the Year.
Oh, it's coming up.
No mention of Tatum being the next Kobe at all.
No.
So.
All right.
So it's not done yet.
I'm sure we'll get there. And then our final nominee for Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert.
Tatum. Oh.
Jason Tatum is not a rookie anymore. You can't get this one. You can get almost any other one, except Biggest Blunder. I'm sure you wouldn't nominate him for that. That's coming up in just a sec. My final nominee for Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers. Just what I've seen from Justin Herbert in 7 or 8 games as a starter, he looks like a vet. He throws the ball as good as anyone in the league, maybe save for Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. He's right up there with those guys. He looks calm. He looks cool, which if you know rookie quarterbacks in the NFL, those are not the words you usually use to describe those guys. The the Rookie of the Year race was, for me, a total toss-up between Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. And, Joe Burrow going down with that knee injury a few weeks ago takes him out of the running. But if he was healthy, it would be these guys tied for first. I think they're both going to be excellent quarterbacks, superstar quarterbacks for years and years to come in the NFL. Any thoughts on Justin Herbert for either of you guys?
Yeah, I know with Justin Herbert being drafted to the Chargers this year, I know Miami had a pick, and they could have taken him, but they went with Tua Tagovailoa. And I was a little skeptical just because of Tua's injury history, and I knew that Justin Herbert was more of a solid guy, but I know he gets a lot of hate just because he's not the most mobile guy. But he's definitely shown that he can be a solid starting quarterback in this league, and I'm proud to see what he's doing.
Yeah, the not being mobile thing, I think that when he played at the University of Oregon, he didn't have to do a lot of that stuff.
Exactly.
Except for his last Rose Bowl game there where he ran the ball 3 touchdowns. From what I've seen in the NFL, he looks like a better runner than Tua Tagovailoa. Just from what I've seen. And Tua, it's a small sample size so far. And, Tua has a chance to be that guy. But from what I've seen right now, Justin Herbert looks like a lock to be a top 10 quarterback in this league for the next 10 years. And right now, it's purely wait and see on Tua. I'm not positive or negative. Just wait and see. I need to see some more stuff. There you go. Let's clap.
You think Justin Herbert wins Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, I do.
NFL? Yeah,
I do. Justin Jefferson is the rookie wide receiver for the Vikings, who's kind of gotten a push the last couple weeks, but I think Justin Herbert is just it just looks like a guy who's been playing for years. So he would absolutely be my pick.
Are they in a playoff spot right now?
No, they're out of the playoffs.
Okay.
The team stinks is the thing. He looks great. It's totally the opposite of what you'd expect from a rookie quarterback. The team around him looks like crap, and he looks amazing. But they've got some pieces. So the next couple of years, I'd look up for the LA Chargers. All right, any more thoughts on our nominees? No thoughts? All right, let's clap it up for Ja Morant, 2020 Rookie of the Year for our money. There we go. Let's move it on to our next award. We're kind of getting out of I guess we're still in the individual awards. Maybe one more here. The best performance, and take that definition as you will. The guys who perform the best, and we've only got 2 nominees for this one. Jamal Murray and Nathan McKinnon. Mark, the winner of the best performance award is
Nathan McKinnon.
Nathan McKinnon. Nice job, Nate. All right. Best performance, Nathan McKinnon. Ryan, tell us about it.
I am the biggest Nathan McKinnon fan in the world, so this is definitely biased.
Yeah, but, gush about it.
Does he play for Colorado?
He definitely does play for Colorado. Night in and night out, Nathan McKinnon has been an all-star for Colorado. As biased as you think I am, I think he is the best player in the league.
Wow.
Just because I think he offers more to his team than Connor McDavid does to Edmonton. And I also think that Nathan McKinnon is a lot more underrated than Nathan McKinnon or Connor McDavid is. I think Connor McDavid came into the league thinking that he was going to be the next Wayne Gretzky, and I don't think that he hasn't lived up to that.
Yeah.
But Nathan McKinnon, he is the Colorado Avalanche. This year he got 93 points in 69 games. And just like his overall growth, I think in the first couple of years, he wasn't really succeeding in the way that a lot of people did, and or a lot of people thought he was going to. And this last year, he kind of just broke out, and he's turned into the player that Colorado expected him to be. As I said before, Colorado battled a lot of injuries this year. Basically, their entire first and second line was down for at least 20 games.
Wow.
And they should have been like rock bottom. But Nathan McKinnon, he took Colorado and the players that he was given, and he made all of them look so good, like a lot better than what they should have been. And he's basically took them on his back and brought them to the Stanley Cup Finals, and they wouldn't have gotten as far as they did without him. So, and he won the Lady Byng, and he's Canadian, so that's why. I think he's the best
and is that it?
That's it.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to contest you on Nathan MacKinnon. I won't push back, but let's come back to it. You've got your Coach of the Year, your Rookie of the Year, and your best performance. Let's just say, and you called him the best player in hockey, all on the Colorado Avalanche. Yep. Ryan, are you guaranteeing a Stanley Cup win for these Colorado Avalanche in 2021?
Maybe not in 2021, but I think in the next 5 years, I would put at least $20 on them winning the Stanley Cup.
Next 5 years. Okay. I thought you would have been a lot more
$20 bet
with having 3 guys nominated for awards. I thought it would have been a for sure yes. There you go. Next 5 years, watch out for the Colorado Avalanche.
Anything can happen. So
anything can happen. He's leaving the door open though. Yeah, it's possible. Exactly. All right. Let's talk about our other nominee, Jamal Murray, another Canadian. We nominated 2 Canadians for this award. That's good.
Unbiased.
Jamal Murray, forever and ever unbiased. Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets. Mark, this was your nominee. What performance are you referring to, and why was it your nominee?
I was just referring to, I guess, mainly the Utah and the Clippers series.
Right.
I know against Utah, he dropped 50 twice, and it was kind of like a shootout between like him and Mitchell, and that was like a really entertaining series.
That was awesome. That might have been the best playoff series this year. That would be my pick.
That was really good to watch. Mm-hmm. And he led them past the Jazz in 7.
Yep.
Averaged 31 points per game in that series. And then they went up against the Clippers, and obviously like the Clippers were talking a lot of trash all year, like saying, well, everyone, they were just expected to make it to the finals. And he dropped buckets on them as well, on Patrick Beverley's head. So that was really good to see.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with this Jamal Murray pick. Like I said a second ago, Jazz Nuggets was my series of the playoffs, and the Nuggets did it the hard way, man. You could even pair him up with Nikola Jokic here, if you wanted to, because those 2 guys are simpatico. They might have telepathic abilities with one another. They are rocking down there in Denver, and I wish they'd done a little more this offseason. But I think they're right back in the playoffs, no question, for me. And just another year of playoff experience. They went through such a tough road. Jazz was a tough matchup for them. Clippers, like you said, everyone was projecting them. Everyone had put them in the Western Conference Finals already. And the Nuggets said, forget that. We'll take them to 7 games and we'll win the thing. And they got diced by LeBron in the Western Conference Finals, but you can't really blame anyone for getting diced by LeBron in the playoffs. And great Canadian from this area, Toronto area, is that right? Mississauga?
He's from Kitchener.
Yeah, I think Kitchener.
Right. Well, he's from Ontario. He's from Canada, so we'll celebrate that. Jamal Murray, regardless of the Canadian thing, well deserving of maybe winning this award. But we had to give Ryan one Colorado Avalanche guy. We had to give one out.
And he's only 23, eh? Jamal Murray.
Yeah, so he's young.
That's huge.
No, he's really young. But absolutely, Nathan MacKinnon, well deserving of this award. Let's clap it up for Nathan MacKinnon, the best player in hockey, according to Ryan. There we go. That was the best performance. That was a bunch of positive awards in a row. So let's do a negative one. The biggest blunder. You could call it many names, but it's basically the award for who screwed up the hardest.
2020 award.
The 2020 award, apt. Well said, Ryan. The 2020 award for worst performance in 2020. Our nominees are Paul George / the Clippers, Nate Robinson, and Rudy Gobert. Who announced the last one? Mark did. Ryan, who is the winner of the stupidest guy in sports / worst?
The man who shut down the NBA, Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. Sarcastic clap for Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
We hate you. Rudy Gobert. Yeah, this one made me laugh when I saw it in the nominations. Just because he's such an idiot. He's so stupid. Rudy Gobert. Yeah, this is obviously for the series of events back in March where he was licking teammates' water bottles and touching microphones and like coughing on people because he thought
He was licking people's water bottles.
Yeah, I think he was like yeah.
And patting people's heads.
Patting
and all
people's
that
heads.
stuff.
He was touching everything. He was having a good old time. Oh, Rudy, we're glad you had fun in March because you shut down the entire league. You idiot. Yeah, Rudy Gobert sucks. I'll never cheer for him ever again. Yeah, how many times can I call him an idiot? At least a few more. I think he's earned that. Yeah, what do you guys think of Rudy Gobert? Are either of you gonna stand up for Rudy Gobert? No. Yeah, I didn't
Definitely
think
so.
so.
Yeah.
Mark?
He's a good player, but like
sure, no.
just his like his ignorance to the whole situation and like
Sure.
Yeah.
and everything, just like making it seem like such a joke and then it being like as serious as it is.
Yeah.
And him being a big part of that is just he deserves the biggest blunder.
Yeah, I think like a breakout would have happened regardless, but just that he was like touching mics and stuff.
We got to mention that
after
Rudy Gobert wasn't patient zero for COVID in the United States. That's not what he did. But this is more for the flippant attitude, and like Mark said, the breakout was coming. It happened for everyone, and the NBA wasn't going to be safe regardless. But yeah, like just. Don't do that. Nobody else did it. Nobody else felt like they had to make a big joke out of it. And way to go. I hope he feels awful about it.
Yeah.
Ryan?
He's such a meme. He's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Like you said, this is not an award for his basketball play. He's a good player. But I'll never cheer for him ever again. Ryan? On Rudy Gobert?
Yeah, no. Just
no. Yeah, I think
just give him the award and call it a day.
Rudy Gobert, we're all gonna spit on the award and send it to you in the mail. So look forward to that. Let's talk
COVID again.
Yeah, I shouldn't laugh, but I'm just laughing because he's such an idiot and I hate him. That was the last time I'll call Rudy Gobert an idiot. Maybe one more time. Let's talk about our other nominees though. Who wants to talk about Nate Robinson? I don't really. He got punched out by a Paul brother. Anyone else got anything to add to the?
I think just agreeing to the fight is.
Oh yeah, that's an excellent point.
You're just putting yourself into a situation where if you win, what do you like? You don't win that much out of it, and if you lose, you lose a ton. So.
Yeah,
it was funny because there was a lot of NBA players tweeting, "Oh, this does not reflect other NBA players." So,
yeah, Ryan, excellent point. I was thinking for the fight, but great point. He should never have agreed to this. Yeah, what does he get out of this? Obviously money, but it's not like $100 million Conor McGregor money or whatever. I'm sure it was a good chunk of change, but yeah, he got put in a position to get knocked out by a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Come on, Nate, you were in the dunk contest, man.
Yeah,
you're a hero. You're a legend in New York City.
Getting knocked out has to be one of the most embarrassing things in sports. You're just lying on the ground.
And now he's a meme.
This is a warning to all washed up athletes. Don't do this stuff, man. Don't do it. Don't do exhibition boxing fights. You're going to get punched out, and then you're going to be on the internet, and everyone else you thought was your friend is going to make fun of you forever.
I don't like the excuse of, like, he has to feed his family. It's like, yo, you play in the NBA for years. You have money. Stop making it seem
and
like
if he doesn't have money, then that's on him, because he played for a long time, and I'm sure he made a great amount of money in the NBA. So you should have saved your change, man, because you just got punched out by an influencer. Yikes. Let's talk about our third nominee, and the guy I really wanted to give the award to, save for Rudy Gobert. Playoff P, way off P, as Mark called him in our group chat yesterday. Backboard sniper, as I refer to him now. Paul George and at large the Clippers. This kind of goes back to our last award with Jamal Murray. They were up 3-1 in the playoff series, and they lost it to the Nuggets, who have Jamal Murray, who we love, and Nikola Jokic, who we love, but not much outside of that. And you guys are the Clippers with Kawhi and PG and Montrez and Lou and Pat Bev and on and on and on. Win the series. And they lost. The worst part is that they lost in spectacular fashion, 7 games, taking a series to 7 games, whatever, that happens all the time. But 3-1, then to lose it, and just we highlight Paul George because it's just the perfect metaphor for the playoffs. Is Paul George clanking that thing off the side of the backboard? It just summed it up perfectly. And yeah, like we said earlier, everyone put him in the Western Conference Finals, and for a reason. They should have been there, and they weren't, by their own fault. Mark, what do you think of Way Off P?
Of Pandemic P and the Clippers? So many nicknames. Yeah. I think the Clippers as a whole they just look dumb after that past season because they were talking a lot, specifically like Patrick Beverley. Like he was running his mouth a lot, and so to get sent home is just funny.
Yeah, that's probably what makes it the biggest blunder, is that they talk so much crap. Losing is one thing, but to talk so much was just kind of crazy. Ryan, what do you think?
I think to do all that and then still end up with a max contract is the craziest thing.
We could put the Clippers on this list for biggest blunder for giving Paul George the contract.
Yeah. I think they just went into that series way too cocky, and they got up 3-1, and they were like, oh, okay, we just need one more. And they didn't change what they needed to do. Mm-hmm. And I know Paul George was blaming it on the coach, but the coach can't go on the floor, and he can't shoot threes. He can't shoot the backboard, so he can't do all that. So a lot of the responsibility lands on the players, and I think Paul George did not show up in the playoffs.
No.
And so,
he should have stayed home. Honestly, it was one of those it was just like Paul.
Him and Siakam.
Yeah, Siakam. Siakam's a whole another conversation. But there you go. Let's do another sarcastic clap for Rudy Gobert. Idiot. There you go. That was the last time. All right, let's keep going. Our next award, Steps Towards the Future, the team that did the most building for their eventual success. And the nominees are the Miami Dolphins, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Ottawa Senators. Not the Colorado Avalanche. Mark, who is the winner?
Sure. We got the Atlanta Hawks.
The Atlanta Hawks. Ice Tray, the gang. The Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, building towards the future. We talked about this a couple weeks ago when we did our free agency special, some of the moves they've made. Mark, tell us about those moves and why are they looking good for the future?
Yeah. They made a bunch of moves this offseason, which makes it clear that they're trying to compete this next season. I think they're focusing a lot on their 3-point shooting. They got Bogdanovich, Gallinari. I think Rondo is going to be a big piece. He's going to help kind of mentor Trae Young. Rondo's very experienced point guard, obviously. I'm excited. I'm hoping Trae Young has another really good season because he played really well last year.
No, I'm really cheering for Trae. And I think the important thing is that they put the right pieces in place, shooters and big guys to surround Trae. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think just the pieces they have around Trae. Picked up Bogdanovich and they picked up Gallinari. And then they already had Clint Capella that they got from last year. And John Collins is that guy alongside Trae that they drafted.
Yeah, John Collins is going to be great too.
And yeah, as we mentioned before, I think Rajon Rondo is going to be a huge influence on Trae Young's development as a star point guard in the league. Mm-hmm. I think the sky is the limit for the Hawks. And yeah, I think out of all the nominees, I think they went from the furthest behind to the furthest ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think they made the biggest jump. Yeah. I mean, what more can you say? Atlanta Hawks will obviously have to wait and see. This is the unproven award. But But yeah, as far as setting themselves up for the future, Bogdan, Danilo Gallinari, John Collins, Clint Capella, I like that lineup, and I think that's a playoff team compared to last year when they were anything but. So, yeah. Let's talk about our nominees. Ryan, I'll go to you on Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, Ottawa Senators had another big offseason like the Atlanta Hawks. They drafted a really good defenseman over the last draft, and they already had a pretty good young core in Thomas Chabot, Brady Tkachuk, and Alex Galchenyuk, who they just picked up. But they added new pieces this year like Ryan Murray, Evgeny Dadonov, and then Eric Branson. And I mean, like the Atlanta Hawks last year, Ottawa was probably the worst team in the league other than like Detroit. So yeah, I think they made some pretty good strides. Obviously they're unproven. But I think just based off of like who they picked up and the general manager finally being able to spend some money, because Ottawa's been a pretty cheap team over the years. I think they'll definitely be better than last year. So.
Right on. Do you see them making the playoffs this year? They've got those new jerseys looking pretty sharp.
I don't know about this year, but maybe in the next 5 years.
Coming up? All right. Another 5 years bet.
The next 5 years.
Another 5 years bet.
You like to give yourself the big window.
Exactly.
How about in the next 50 years? They'll make the playoffs at some point.
Okay. We can settle down, man.
No, great pick there, Ryan. I like that a lot. It's good to see another Canadian mention here. Ottawa Senators. Haven't heard a lot from them in the last ever. Yeah, looking forward to them being good. As many Canadian teams as can be good in hockey, I think just makes the sport better. It just makes it feel like hockey when all the Canadian teams are good. And then the Miami Dolphins. This is Ryan's team as well. Tua Tagovailoa, like we said, nice.
I'm not biased, I swear.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely the right pick as far as NFL teams go. Miami Dolphins, they won 5 straight games to end the season last year. This year they're 7-4, I believe, as we're sitting here recording this.
Second in the AFC East.
Second in the AFC East. I think they've got a great shot to make the playoffs this year. Right now, I think everyone's expectation was that this year will be another building year, and then maybe next year, maybe the year after that, we're ready to compete. But it's like, no, it's now. Like, let's go. Miami's going to be in the playoffs. I think they could win a playoff game. They're not going to the Super Bowl this year. But just as far as teams that are going to compete with the Chiefs in the AFC for the next 10 years, Dolphins are looking good, looking real good to be in that spot. And they've got a bunch of draft picks in this upcoming draft, so they'll have lots of opportunities to add guys. I love it. Brian Flores, that's the other guy we should mention, the head coach, the only Belichick assistant who has ever worked out. I think he's got a great shot to be the head man for that team for a long, long time. I love the Miami Dolphins. Ryan, your team.
Yeah, just reading on them over the summer, I know that they made a ton of moves, and yeah, they brought in Brian Flores, and it just seems like everything's clicking.
Yeah.
I know Tua took a little bit longer than other rookies to sort of pan out, and he hasn't like totally panned out yet.
Right.
But I'm excited to see where he is.
Sure.
As a biased fan.
That's all right.
Or unbiased fan. I believe in him. So I think he's going to be good. And I think under Fitzmagic, I think they're both for the future. I like the pick.
Yeah, I love it. Mark, any thoughts on the Miami Dolphins?
Miami Dolphins? No, sir.
No, sir.
I'm gonna stick to Ryan's updates to
right.
keep up with Dolphins.
Mark's gonna take our word for it on that one. Let's clap it up for the Atlanta Hawks. A sincere clap this time. Looking forward. It's a hopeful clap. We're looking forward.
Might have to buy those jerseys as well.
Oh, the
Fire
Hawks
jerseys.
ones? Yeah. I might go for those. I mean, I'd buy those Clippers ones if they weren't so ugly.
Is Ryan frozen?
Ryan's frozen mid-clap.
I thought he was just staring at me. I'm like, dang, the jerseys aren't that ugly.
It's like the freeze frame at the end of the episode, and then they roll the credits over it. That was Steps Towards the Future. Once again, congratulations to the Atlanta Hawks. Next up on the docket is the Good Guy Award. The guy we thought was the goodest, the most kind-hearted, and did the most for his community. We've got more nominees for this one because there were just so many good guys. The Good Guy Award: Karl Anthony Towns, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, and Marcus Rashford. And the winner is I don't remember who announced last. Who's up? Someone announced the winner. Mark, who's
Me?
the winner?
Oh.
Yes.
The winner is Laurent
Yes.
Duvernay-Tardif.
Oui.
Great guy.
Enchanté. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif out of McGill University, a McGill alumni. Giving a little love to another Canadian school, but it's well deserved. A guy who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, but didn't this year because, as some people may know, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif got his medical degree while playing in the NFL. He's a medical doctor, and he decided to sit out this season and instead go work at a clinic in Montreal, helping COVID patients. A lot of other guys on this list are, gave money, started charities, and those are all excellent things. I don't want to, put anyone down for donating money. It's an excellent, excellent thing. But Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, he went out and did it. He said, forget this. I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to go work in the hospital, and I'm going to go fight a pervasive issue in the world with my own hands. So I just had to give it up to Laurent Duvernay-Tardif for doing that, getting her done. It's a really, really admirable thing that he's gone and done, missing an entire year of football. You never know what you're going to get back after missing a year from the league. So hats off, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. Congratulations on your Good Guy Award. You are certainly a good guy. And he's Canadian, so he's a good guy. We know that. Any thoughts on Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, guys? I assume none of you are gonna disagree with the pick here.
Yeah, I don't know a ton on him, but I know to have the ability to achieve your dream and then still go to school and then give up your dream to go help other people. Mm-hmm. I know that's something that I know if I was in that situation, it'd be pretty tough to do, but this guy had no hesitation and he just went out there and did it. When the tough times are going, the tough get going.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, great saying.
Good for him.
Mark, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, just big shout out to him to be able to play in the NFL and graduate from med school like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Excellent. Yeah.
So
yeah. No.
Not a lot of free time for that guy.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I think he's married too, so I don't know where you find time to
this
get married.
guy is on a different level.
Yeah.
I don't know where you find time to date and get married in between all that, but way to go. Yeah. Maybe he gets the multitasker award as well.
Yeah.
We'll give him that made up award as well. Let's talk some of our other good guy nominees too, because they certainly deserve it. Let's start at the top. Karl Anthony Towns. Who's had a tougher 2020 in sports than Karl Anthony Towns. Lost 7 family members to COVID, which is just awful. It's horrendous. He's feeling the impacts of this disease, certainly. He was on the forefront of the Black Lives Matter protests. I remember him up there in Minnesota when everything was going down. Minnesota was kind of a hot spot for a lot of the contention between people, and Karl Anthony Towns was out there speaking to his community. That's not easy. You can say that athletes should do those things, but not everyone does them. And Karl Anthony Towns, just even that he's able to get up and get out of bed every day after losing 7 family members. All the respect in the world for Karl Anthony Towns, regardless of basketball. Any thoughts, guys?
I think his donation to the Mayo Clinic, that was a big part of the whole thing.
Yeah, good
but
mention.
Yeah, I think a lot of us know, like, losing a family member is tough, mm-hmm. and to lose 7,
it's unbelievable
in a short span. Definitely nobody should have to go through that. And I think I know he's received a ton of support from a lot of people, and I think this award really just speaks to how much bigger it is than the game. Like there's so much more to life than just basketball or hockey or football. It's so much bigger than that. And good guy award. He didn't get it, but he is a good guy.
Yeah. Hey, let's just give out 5 good guy awards. Why don't we do that?
Yeah.
5 winners.
That sounds good.
They're all winners. Because we're good guys too. We do good guy things. I'm giving you 2 good guy awards as well. Mark and Ryan, winners of the good guy
Thanks,
awards.
Man.
Sweet.
Let's move on to our next actual nominee, though. There you go. Ryan's got the trophy. Good use of the prop. Our next nominee, Donovan Mitchell. Ryan, I know you were quite impressed with what he did recently here. Tell people all about it.
Very impressed. I don't hear a ton of guys signing max deals and then putting a pretty big chunk of it towards your former school. He just signed a max deal, and then he goes and donates $12 million to the Connecticut Middle School. It's a place where his mom taught at, and him and his sister attended. Just going through it, he wanted the money to be used towards getting underprivileged kids into the school. He wanted teachers to have the proper tools and equipment to help out these kids. He wanted to build a new gym. And with $12 million, I mean, there's definitely a lot of money to be able to do that and to give kids scholarships for the future ahead. It just seems like he's kind of following in the footsteps of LeBron in his school. So, I mean, Donovan Mitchell, hats off to that guy.
Yeah, no, it's again, you could say this is an easy thing for a millionaire to do. Oh yeah, just give away your $12 million. You know, you signed a $190 million or whatever. But no, it's it's not easy. I mean, you have to give these guys credit for doing this. Obviously it's a very personal thing for Donovan Mitchell. Like you said, this is a school he attended and his mom taught at, and I think it's really admirable when you see those guys that have a responsibility to their community, and great job by Donovan Mitchell. Mark, what do you think?
No, yeah. I think you guys said most of the points, but it's just always nice to see when players can show that like what they do is just way bigger than, how they perform on the court, like using their platforms to, I don't know, like encourage education in kids that can't get great education, and just be able to improve those facilities and just give people better opportunities is always cool to see. And I don't like it when people compare like quantities. Focus on like what they're doing and like the heart behind it. And I think Donovan Mitchell is doing a great thing.
Yeah, no, that's a great point to make. It's it's not the $12 million that's important. It's that he went out there and he did something great for his community. And
for sure.
Man, that's gonna change some lives. That's I bet you look back 20 years from now, you'll be able to track that $12 million to some real successful people that came out of that school. So congratulations to Donovan Mitchell, and keep up the great work. Marcus Rashford, our 4th winner of the award. Mark, this is your nominee. What do you got?
He is a soccer player for Manchester United. Over the whole kind of quarantine period, over like the summer, he partnered with the UK's longest running food redistribution charity, and helped raise enough money to provide food for 4.2 million meals for children and families who might not have eaten. So that was pretty dope.
I mean, same vein as these other guys, sticking your head out for your community. Again, another thing that's not easy to do, especially during a lockdown pandemic. Everyone had every excuse in the world to sit at home and do nothing. And Marcus Rashford, the food banks were a really important thing for a lot of people all over the world during the pandemic time, when jobs were being lost and opportunities to feed yourself were dwindling for a lot of people in the world. And good job, Marcus Rashford. I know a lot of guys stepped up to support their local food banks. But great example of helping out your community. Ryan, any thoughts there?
No, good for him. It's definitely a huge thing. I know I didn't go out during the pandemic at all. He went out of his way to make sure that other people were fed. So good for him.
And we got one more winner, LeBron James. We can't forget to mention LeBron James. I just wanted to throw him in here for the More Than a Vote foundation he created. There was a lot of emotions going on in the bubble with the stuff that happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the Milwaukee Bucks refusing to play, and there was kind of a period of a few hours where everyone was wondering what was going to happen if we were going to get basketball back, if players did come back. What was the point of this protest, this boycotting games? And LeBron, along with other guys, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook were heavily involved. I know that, and lots of other guys. He made the push to have this More Than a Vote initiative put in, make sure that everybody knows that their right to vote, and whatever side of the spectrum you're on, I think we can all agree that it's important that your voice is heard. And LeBron made sure that happened for a lot of people. I think the big one for me is making sure that all the or most of the NBA stadiums were polling places. I think that was huge especially for minorities in the U.S. Again, I mentioned it earlier, but this podcast that LeBron did a few days ago on Uninterrupted, he explains it really well. And obviously he can speak for the minority community a lot better than I can, and his community of Akron, Ohio, and across the U.S. I think he did something actionable and real. And I'm big fan of LeBron for this one, guys.
Yeah, same with his I Promise school.
Right.
Another way he goes back to his community, and he's such a big voice, and he's got that Nike lifetime contract, and he definitely doesn't make it go to waste. He definitely uses it for the right reasons. So good for him.
Yeah, no, there's lots of guys who have been faces of leagues and vocal components of leagues, but LeBron has taken that on like I think no one else ever has, and he knows who he is, and I think that's a good thing because he can use that power effectively, and it's real power. There you go, Good Guy Award. Man, you could list about 1,000 of them. Just about everyone in the WNBA, all those athletes over there who missed all the time to make sure that they fought social issues. Man, all the NBA players in the Karl Anthony Towns vein who were out there making their voices heard on social issues this year. I think it's been a really important year for athlete empowerment, and we're seeing more good guys than we ever have in sports. Which I think is something to be happy about, regardless of who you cheer for. And there we go. That'll do it for our 2020. Oh, come on. Let's clap it up for our 5 winners of the Good Guy Award. And everyone else who is a good guy.
All the good people.
All the good people. Guy is a gender-neutral term, by the way. Good people. You could list everyone. But that'll do it for our 2020 Marauder Morning Year in Review Awards Annual Spectacular, or something more concise along those lines. Congratulations to all our winners. One big final clap up for all the winners. Come on, Mark, only one more time. There you go. Thank you so much for watching. If you're listening on the radio, an important note, this will be our last episode on the radio station. We will be coming back January 11th. For more episodes on the radio, but don't fret, we will still be continuing to put out episodes on YouTube for all of you to enjoy. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube page, now is a great time to do it. youtube.com/Marauder Morning. Check us out. We'll be posting all along the winter break, and coming up next week, we've got NBA season starting up, so we'll be shifting our focus into professional basketball. I know we're all very excited to talk about that, so don't miss that. We'll get right into all the good NBA stuff. That'll just about do it. Like I said, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Marauder Morning. Check us out on our website, cfmu.ca is the website. We are called Marauder Morning over there. Hit us up on Twitter at 933CFMU. Let us know what you liked or what you didn't. And we'll try to include it in the next episode. That'll do it for us. And we'll see you when you see you. All right. Oops. There we go. All right. Any problems? What's that? Oh, it's Jason Tatum and his kid.
They think they can guard my dad.
His son is so funny, bro. That's
Yeah.
the only reason why I follow him.
Nice, he's a cute kid. Mark, you're good? Oh.
What the fuck?
Why did you just put that in my
I'm good.
face? Okay. Any other pictures you guys would like to share? I don't have anything to show. Let's see.
That was actually hilarious.
Yeah, I'm good.
What pops up on my Instagram? Come on, Instagram. Oh, there we go. That's a good one. Old soft face. Nice. Looking good. Looking sharp. As always. Here's a Happy Hanukkah from the
Oh, I can't even
Minnesota
see your
Vikings.
screen.
Oh yeah, you guys can't even see mine. Well, it's Happy Hanukkah from Minnesota Vikings.
Nice.
We should make sure we wish Happy Hanukkah at the end of the episode.